it just lights me up. They are always here, and it just means a lot, you know?
That's so cool.
Yeah, they're really
It's
engaging.
That's very cool.
Go ahead and
Hi, Karen. Hi, Panini.
Hey guys.
Hi, Jeff. We were just talking about you to Angela. Hi, Karen. Hi, John. Hi, Marilee.
Hi.
Hi.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and keep adding people as they come in. I know a few people are running late, but they are going to definitely tune in later. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen and get us started today so we can stay on time. A couple of Zoom rules. For those of you who are new or haven't joined us in a while, please mute yourself when you're not speaking. We recommend speaker view for presentation. Video sharing is optional, and please type all questions or comments into the chat. We will have a very special guest today that we're really excited to interact with. So we want to hear from you and get your feedback. Please make use of the chat bar and ask any questions or share any comments that you would like to share with our speaker. A quick update from Autism Tree. We have now reached over 532,000 people through all of our social media channels. It's incredible. I can't believe it. Since March of last year. This is amazing through all of our channels, which is YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We used to only be primarily on Facebook, and now we've grown so much. So thank you to everyone who has been tuning into our social media. Our posts have been shared over 874 times since last March. So thank you for sharing our content and spreading the word to your friends and family. We want to reach as many people as we can. It's really wonderful. We get to interact with people all over the nation and globally as well. So definitely feel a part of our community by keep on sharing our posts and interacting with us. We've have added 326 videos are actually on our YouTube channel. So subscribe today if you haven't yet. It takes a minute. We post about daily or a couple times a week at the very least of new videos. 275 of those videos were added since March 12th. So thank you to everyone who has submitted a video, all of our program managers and directors, our volunteers. We have an amazing group of volunteers who submit Reading with Autism Tree videos, which is where we read a children's book for our kids and families. We've now had 100 of those videos be submitted and reached over 44,000 people just through that series. We also have our HPF at Home series where we share different quick, easy, cheap, fun activities for kids and families to do at home together during shelter in place. We have now provided 213 virtual events to date, which blows my mind since last March. And we now have 10 events coming up between now and the end of February, although we have a ton more that I just committed. Our Girls Mentor program, we're going to get those on the calendar soon, as well as our Hearts and Hooves Therapy virtual program. So I'm really excited. We're going to be adding a lot of events coming up on our calendar, so stay tuned. We are now offering 19 of 20 programs. So thank you to all of our amazing program managers who were able to pivot so quickly onto virtual platforms. 18 of those are virtual, and we were able to host one in person, our Bridge to the Beach program last year. We're hoping to do the same again this year. So thank you to our amazing community leaders for helping us do all that we do to serve our community. So without further ado, I'll pass it off to Dana Hoff, our co-founder and volunteer executive director. She'll be introducing our special guest today, Angela Meier.
Thank you, Rebecca. I'm so excited every week to just see how much we grow together. And I was telling Angela on the pre-call that I don't remember wearing one of my mother-in-law, Kathy, who many of you might have known, was our CFO and helped us start Autism Tree and was a wonderful, wonderful grandmother to my son Garrett, but also to the entire Autism Tree family. I'm wearing this necklace in her honor today, and what inspired me was reflecting on Angela. And this time, for the first time, I was reflecting about Angela, not just by myself, but with Rebecca and John Hickey. Hi, John, who's on this call yesterday. We were taking a time out to kind of honor not only John's birthday, but his beautiful mother who had an incredible legacy and passed away. And so it was just so meaningful. I was telling Angela, you know, every time we bring a speaker on, it's like bringing a piece of our family to you to share all that they've done. And hi, Terrence.
Hi.
Terrence says, sorry, John. Yes. Terrence, I'm going to tell you one of the favorite things I learned about John's mom from him yesterday. I went to San Diego State. I'm an Aztec, and John's mom played basketball at San Diego State, which is pretty cool thing to learn about her. And obviously, she was an incredibly amazing mom because John is one of my favorite people I've ever met in my life, let alone in Autism Tree. So I know John carries her spirit with him, and I'm very blessed by your mom inside you, John. So yesterday, what we did was we ended up walking to the house I lived in when we started Autism Tree and when Garrett was diagnosed. And I rarely do that. And it was a big pivot in my life. I had been a full-time working mom, and you know, our whole life was like here, and then it pivoted here. And that's when Angela came in. So it was just really sweet to show Rebecca and John where this photo that Angela, anyone that knows me, I know you're not going to be surprised, knows that I quite love my closet. Like a man loves their man cave or garage. I love my closet. And this picture is in my closet on a little picture stand. It just, I don't know, I found it a few years back, and I look at it all the time, and it's just sort of everything. I don't even know what to say about it other than to say that we moved when Garrett was 4, so from this house. And so he was definitely, he was diagnosed at 2 years and 9 months. So he's somewhere between that and 3. And Angela's son, Jax, is getting close to that age. So it's just, like I said, it's sort of everything to look at this photo of Angela working with Garrett at our house on Ullman Street that we went and visited yesterday, Angela. It just hit me that I wanted to show John and Rebecca, knowing that we were going to see you today. And, you know, this was when Angela started her career, and she'll, you know, it might be coming up on one of the slides, but I don't know how that makes you feel, Angela. It just kind of like takes my breath away every time, even though I see that photo every day. Like, just to talk with you about it is, you know, it's why that photo just shows like why we do early intervention, why we believe in every single thing we do, and we work so hard to, we've done over 20,000 screenings. Why? Because we want to make sure children are preschool ready. And you know, it all started like a lot of children, you know, on the autism spectrum. Garrett went to 3 preschools, and we walked by one of the Westminster preschool, where it was the second one yesterday, and where we did the Right Family Picnic. Karen, we were showing Rebecca all that in your honor yesterday too. So, you know, it's just, there's not really a way to exaggerate, Angela, with you specifically. The bottom line was how Angela and I met to get a little bit more focused. That picture kind of like takes my breath away, but how we met, and Angela, correct me if your memory is different, but Garrett was tantruming in speech therapy, and it was a lot of money for a 1-hour session. And I was having a heart attack because number one is I really knew that Kara Dodds was the best speech therapist. She wasn't our first one, and I was determined that I didn't want to try a different speech therapist. Having said that, we weren't having success, and I didn't blame it on Kara. So I had gotten this awareness that we could do music therapy to get more language out of speech. And so I don't know, Angela. I think we talked and I was like, can you come over like halfway into speech therapy with Kara? And so Kara was there half an hour, and then Angela came in for a half an hour, and then Kara left and Angela stayed. So it was like this sort of merger. And I just remember from day one, we all went, we're on to something. This is right. This is, yeah, let's do this again. And then pretty soon, maybe 6 months into it, we made a quantum leap, I would say. And Todd, who's the data guy, was like, you need to put this in a program so that we can get it out to the community and help others. And that was the In Harmony program. And Angela might or might not talk about that, but as a huge part of Autism Tree. So, we just do everything we do today with early intervention started right here with Angela. And I do not know, Angela, in all honesty, how we would have gotten Garrett through, having spontaneous language and all these different things without the combo of you and Garrett together. I really think that's what it took. So, without further going on and on, I could go on and on and on. I wanted to show, we always do a question, Angela. And I love it when everyone types it in and their answer, and then we send it out in an email, Angela, and we keep doing that because everyone's really responsive of reading it, or if they can't be on it, they'll come on and watch it later. What was your first concert or memorable music experience? Mine was Madonna. I wasn't really allowed to go to concerts. My parents didn't agree with that. And it was such an epic thing for me when I was in high school. Someone spent the night. It was hard to get Madonna tickets, and we went to Madonna at the Cow Palace, and it was sort of my first concert and something I won't forget. Do you have one you want to share, Angela, of what yours would be to answer the question?
Absolutely. My first concert, I have vivid memories, was Amy Grant. It was at this huge Coliseum. My dad and mom had actually gotten tickets and were like in the front row. And I, like, at the last minute was like, I really want to go. And so they got me like nosebleed section tickets way up. And it was like, from then on, I was hooked. I was like, I want to be a rock star. I want to be a songwriter. I want to be a singer. So it, like, that experience of seeing live music really, really changed me. So
I love it. See, I just wanted to go to more concerts. There it is. Angela wanting to be a rock star. Hey, Rebecca, do you want to read what some people are typing in of their concerts for fun to Angela, since it has to do with her music? What do they say, the concerts they've been to, Rebecca?
Well, Jeff says that he's been to Engelbert Humperdinck, which I've never heard of, but that's awesome, Jeff. Padmini says she has been to an all-night long music festival. Classical music really went late into the night. Merrily saw Andrea Bocelli at the Hollywood Bowl. How amazing.
Wow.
And Terrence says he loves listening to Jazz Ensemble, which is a trombone solo. Thanks, Terrence. You always
Sorry, I was muted. Oh, you're welcome.
And then Karen also says that she went to Ricky Nelson, who was part of the old TV show, The Nelson Family. This is such a great, diverse answers from everybody. I love it.
Okay, and then is it the quote next, Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay. Angela, I always pick a quote in the speaker's honor, and this one was extra special because I know a lot of people love hummingbirds, but my mom did, and I know my mom and dad loved experiencing when you worked with Garrett. This quote is just you: where words fail, music speaks. And that's really the entry point that I had with Angela. Is our words were absolutely a fail in our family as a way to communicate with Garrett. And Angela came in, and literally the music helped our family communicate better. And I love this quote for you, Angela. We always show a video, and usually they're about 2 to 3 minutes long. And these ones are of Angela. And I hope you guys love watching them. There's 2, and they're each 1 minute. And it gives you a sense for how Angela has been a star at the Autism Tree world and beyond. I know Costco used to carry this video and parents would write in how much it helped them. This video has won many awards and Angela is the star of it. And we used to give this video out and we still will. Though DVDs, I think people don't use them as much as back when we were giving this out. We've had this for many, many years. And we would give it to a new parent and it would talk about things that are really relevant to preschoolers. So I love to show this video of Angela. It's 1 minute from Kibble's Rockin' Clubhouse. That's right, Panini. That is the Carlsbad Flower Fields. I love it. I've always wanted to do a photo shoot there when Garrett was little, so I missed the opportunity. I hope anyone else gets to do that with their kids, especially you, Angela, now that you have your twins and your little Jacks. And this one is actually a little fun, upbeat one. It's 1 minute. And the other one, the flute player, is Julie Guy, and that's Angela's partner in the Music Therapy Center of California. So this is just 1 more minute clip and then we'll move on.
It looks like we are finished here today and it is time to say goodbye.
Oh, wow. It's almost time for our friends to go home. Miss Angela, thanks for coming and singing songs with us today.
You are welcome, Handy Stan. We always have fun at Kibble's Rockin' Clubhouse. Would you like to hear one final goodbye song?
Yeah! That'd be great.
It is time for us to go. It is the end of this show. We have had fun with our friends. And now it is the end of Kibble's Clubhouse. Kibble's Clubhouse. Kibble's Rockin' Clubhouse. See you later. Bye. See you later. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Angela, we're going to show you some fun pictures of you over the years with all the things you do for Autism Tree. There is no way to exaggerate how much work Angela has done with our music program for our children. We started providing monthly in our office. Even now, if you look at the calendar, we've been able to provide it virtually for the whole, since the pandemic started. And I just love that picture of Angela and Julie in the far left corner. That's when they started the Music Therapy Center of California, and actually when we started Autism Tree. So we kind of just been together serving the community the whole time, and Angela and Julie have always been on our team of and running programs, and they have trained hundreds, if not thousands, I should know, but of the In Harmony program, they trained the teachers. And we've been doing that, I believe, since 2006. Angela and Julie have been doing that. And if you look down below at the bottom, that is our team with one of the San Diego Chargers. I know we don't have the Chargers anymore, but we were actually at an elementary school doing an awareness event. And then the one next to it is Angela in action doing music therapy. And the one next to that, Angela and Julie will always have tables at all of our fundraisers and bring their network. And Joel always creates butterflies and a program manager meeting every year for 10 years, the first 10 years. So that reflected the butterfly that year. And if we go to the next slide, I said we could have done 10 slides for Angela, but we spent our time reflecting instead of spending so much time finding all the photos. But these are just photos of us experiencing a lot of things over the years since 2003. I love the far right one because it has our early intervention team in it with Dr. Novak, the far upper right-hand corner, Dr. Novak, myself, Angela, Lisa, Julie, and Kara. And then if we go to the bottom row, these are from one of our luncheons. And then I love it, Karen Wright is on this call, and Angela and her husband Mike with their baby in the right hand bottom. You'll see Garrett and me in it with Karen Wright and her husband Tim. So fun. We got to go visit Karen and her husband when Angela first had her first baby, and now she has twins. So she has 3 children now. And I'm not sure where that photo is at, right next to it. I think it's from one of our events. But Angela, I love these photos. I can't believe how big Jax has got since that photo. And is there any other slide, Rebecca, or is that the last one? Okay. So like I said, we could have done 10 slides for all the things that you've done since literally we started the foundation. And I just couldn't be prouder. I almost wore my banding together hat, which you'll see on my Facebook, personal Facebook, Dana Hoff. I'm always in my banding together trucker hat. I bought 3 of them. I love them. And so Angela also has a charity that helps musicians, and it's really a community, and Jason Mraz is very involved in it. And I just want you to know I'm so proud of all the work you do with that as well. You just do so much, and it's just such a blessing to introduce you to everyone today, and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, Dana. You are a rock star, so it's just such a joy to be here. And I was reflecting back and looking at pictures and thinking about like the breadth of our relationship together, and it's just amazing. And as Dana said, literally we were in the room together. Dana was at the table when we started our business, so it was it's such a gift to have that longevity of that relationship together and to be able to share that together. So, Rebecca, would you like me to share oh, you've got it. Perfect. So I thought today I would just share a little bit about who I am. I also wanted to share a little bit about my why. I don't always get to do that, and also share about a little bit what Autism Tree Project means to me, as well as hopefully give you a few resources of things that we have found in this interesting COVID twilight zone, I like to call it. So first of all, as Dana mentioned, gosh, I can't even believe it. It's been about 16 years. We started the Music Therapy Center, and our passion and our heart is really making a difference in the lives of our community and the people around us, empowering people to be the best that they can be, and really, becoming their best, whether they see that or not, pursuing their potential and really reaching heights that hopefully they didn't think they could, whether it's saying a word for the first time, or reaching for that paddle drum, or walking, or any of those things. So it's really our heart and passion, and that's what drives us to work so hard every day. In the community, we've got we do things out in the community. We've got 2 different offices. We provide music therapy and adapted lessons to kids throughout the lifespan. So we often say people start with us doing music therapy and then maybe move into lessons. And if they're interested, it hopefully nurtures a lifelong love for music, something that they can do and express themselves for the rest of their life. And so that I feel like is such a gift. We work with other therapies, we do consultation, like I said, adapted lessons, and a huge component and how Dana and I have really built this foundation is doing parent trainings as well as the play groups, which I think have really been such a gift to be able to give to the community. And also just making the In Harmony program available. So we also have products. So it's so amazing to me because I often say that every song on In Harmony has a story behind it and has a specific actually child that I was working with at the time and why it was created. So many of the songs on In Harmony, I have a little video playing in my mind when I hear them because were created at the Hoff's house. And so it's so cool to see that they have a life and a legacy outside of just that little snapshot of time. So yeah, so that's a little background behind me. Like I said, I wanted to share my why about why I became a music therapist. This isn't something I always get to share. So I actually wrote it out. So I have a little thing. But for those of you who don't know, this is actually a picture of my brother Luke. And he is a big part of my why. So why did I become a music therapist? Why did I start the Music Therapy Center of California? And why, do I work so hard with Autism Tree Project Foundation? This willingness to step into unknown territory or to try something that no one else is doing has lived with me for as long as I can remember. My mom has shared with me that apparently I have always had a strong will, and so much so that when I was born, she bought a book called How to Discipline the Strong-Willed Child. Yikes, I'm sorry, Mom. Perhaps this is why on the first day of kindergarten, when my mom asked me if I wanted her to walk me into kindergarten, I said, no, thanks, Mom, I'll walk myself in. So Miss Independent, yes. A little crazy, yes. My brother Luke was actually born when I was 2.5 years old. At the time he was born, everything was fine. He was a happy, bouncy baby boy. It wasn't until that he was about 6 months old that they started to notice that he wasn't hitting all of his developmental milestones. They didn't know what was wrong. My parents sat in that horrible in-between place that no one can give you any answers or tell you that it will be all right. The doctors said that he was severely and profoundly mentally retarded, which was the language of the time. They said he would never talk and he would never walk. And it wasn't until later in life that a doctor finally gave him the diagnosis of Angelman syndrome. So the gift of being Luke's sister is that I didn't know any different. He was always my brother and nothing was wrong. When he had seizures for the first time, my mom told me to pray for Luke, so I went into my bedroom and did just that. My mom was worried. I wasn't. It has taken me getting older to see what my parents went through with new eyes, and especially now that I have 3 kids and a son who is 2.5. Luke likes a lot of things: swing rides, animal crackers, bananas. But the thing that Luke loves is music. Growing up, it was the thing that we could do together. It was the thing that brought him out of his shell and put a smile on his face. It connected us. It made a difference. When we were growing up, the face of special education, or as they said at the time, mentally and physically handicapped, was radically different, much more isolating. And I saw the ways my parents forged new paths and had to do things differently. And yet music was the one thing we could all do together. So as I think about why I became a music therapist, I think about the millions of ways we as music therapists and as families with Autism Tree Project get to do things differently. We get to help change the story for the families that we serve. When I think of being brave, I think of people who have boldly faced tough or forbidding circumstances with courage and without fear. Or maybe despite their fear, they decided to face those circumstances anyways. I think our families are some of the bravest I have ever seen, and certainly the Hoffs are. And I decided a long time ago that I wanted to make it my life's work to be a part of that. So that is why I work so hard. That is why I wanted to start the Music Therapy Center, and it's really hard work some days. And there are some times when I question whether it's worth it. But then I see this face of my brother, and it reminds me why I love being a music therapist. So I just wanted to share a quick 30-second video, if we have the time, so you could see a little bit of my brother enjoying music in action. So here he is. Yay. So that's Luke. That's my story, and that's why I became a music therapist. And yeah, so thank you for letting me share that today. And again, it's such a gift to be here with the Autism Tree Project. They're such a huge part of the story. This is the picture I could find. I know it's not the greatest quality, but I thought it was really fun. I can't even believe this is Garrett. Look at the amazing young man that he's become, and it just blows me away. So such a fun memory. Also, a few other photos from our wedding day up there on the right, to all the play groups and different things we've done over the years, all this, so many fundraising events. And I think that's from the neuroscience planning for the conference. So just, I could go on and on. As you mentioned, Dana, so many great memories. So I was reflecting on, because one of the questions Rebecca said is we could talk about, what does Autism Tree Project Foundation mean to me? And I was thinking about this and kind of meditating on it. And the word that kept coming to mind as I was thinking about tree, right? I was thinking about that significant word, was giving. And then it made me think of this book. I don't know if any of you remember this book, The Giving Tree. And I thought this is a perfect representation of Autism Tree Project Foundation. If you don't know this story, the story is of a young boy, and he has a relationship with this tree through so many different seasons of life. Early on, he's climbing the trunk and swinging from her branches and eating her apples. And then as he gets older, he sells the apples, and eventually he cuts down the branches for a house for his family. And even in his really the last years of his life, when the tree is cut down to a stump, the tree provides a stump for him to sit on to rest. And I think what I love about that is, just like this tree, the autism tree gives and provides for so much in our community. And I think it just is a great representation of what they are doing in the community. And it means so much to me that through all sorts of different seasons, right? In COVID, right? Pivoting and providing a million programs online to serve the community, and always changing and always giving back. So thank you, Autism Tree. Another question I wanted to just kind of share was, what have we been doing? So it's been such a weird, interesting time, I guess you would say. My word of the year, if I could have a word of the year, is reimagine. So reimagining so many different things, so many expectations. And of course, I never in a million years thought I would be doing telehealth music therapy, but here we are. And it's actually being very successful for a lot of our kiddos and families that we serve, providing telehealth for the play groups. So we're doing adapted lessons via telehealth. of course, doing songs about hygiene or washing your hands. And for some of our kiddos, actually, the surprising thing is that for some of them, it's actually been better than in person because they love attending to the videos. So I think that's something sort of interesting. So also, of course, providing free music therapy playgroups. These are usually held on Saturdays, and our fantastic team member, Angie, who is very skilled and done a lot of work with, if anyone's familiar with Music Together, she's also done that program. So she's got a lot of great experience with young kiddos. So I encourage you, if you haven't checked that out yet, to check that out. That's a huge piece of what we do. And I just kind of wanted to also offer just a few other free resources that are available to you. We do complimentary 30-minute screenings. So that's something we can offer. And then as Dana mentioned, through our nonprofit Banding Together, we have music therapy scholarships. And then we also do a free program for teens called Jam Sessions. And currently that's meeting on Thursdays from 6:30 to 7:30. So if you yourself or you know someone who might be interested, please let us know. We'd love to have them join. So I was thinking about what is something I could share. And this is something we do all the time these days with our virtual sessions, and it's instruments. Instruments are such a big piece of what we do. Obviously, I've got a ton of instruments around here. But if you don't have instruments at your house and you're wanting to do something with your kids or maybe people that you're working with, this website is really great. It's got a whole bunch of ideas of how to make your own instruments, everything from using old CDs to make cymbals to using shakers and plastic spoons. And also how to make a guitar out of a cereal box. That's amazing. So it can be a craft and a music instrument. If that sounds like too complicated, just some other fun ideas are what we call found sounds. And that just means making up instruments from things you have around the house. So it could be pots and wooden spoons or shakers, like spices and salt shakers, as long as the lid is on. Don't shake it around. Or you could, but it would just create a new sensory experience in your living room. So lots of different ways you can find sounds around your house. Just a couple ideas for how to use instruments if you're thinking about it. Pick instruments maybe that you have to share, playing along with songs on the radio, of course, like having a dance party, getting the whole like a family band going in your living room, taking turns with instruments, and then even just doing start and stop with instruments. So just a few ideas that hopefully might spark some creativity for you today. So, yeah, I hope that that was helpful and spark something for you today. And I always love staying in touch. Our website is themusictherapycenter.com. You can always reach out to me or reach out to someone on our team. We are here for you to support you. And I just can't say enough about the Autism Tree Project and Dana, and just how grateful I am for our years-long friendship and the way we've gotten to work together and make a difference in the community. So thank you.
Thank you, Angela. Oh, I just love all those resources and ideas you shared for the instruments too. Our musical playgroup, shout out to you and your amazing team, and Leia, who I work really close to with, as well as Julie. We just love all of you so much. And you were actually the first program that we were able to switch onto a virtual platform for our families in early March. You guys were on it. Before we even knew what we were going to do, you reached out to us and said, hey, we could do this virtually. So it's because of people like you who are just so amazing and have such a big heart that we're able to reach so many people and serve so many kids. And so thank you, Angela. This is so valuable. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to anybody if they want to ask a question to Angela. She is obviously a music expert. You can type it in the chat, or I can read your question as well. I'll start it off. I have a first question. I loved your story. Thank you so much for sharing that personal why you started about your brother. I loved that video. So I love learning why you got into music. Do you have any famous musicians that you admire that you want to share with us?
Oh gosh, the list is extremely long. I mean, usually there's something I admire in everyone I meet. I learn something, right? I mean, Amy Grant is like kind of in my heart because she, like I said, was my first concert. So, but I also grew up listening to the Beatles. My dad was a big Beatles fan, so of course admire so much about their songwriting. Gosh, I love U2 and Radiohead and Switchfoot and I don't know. There's just so many Beethoven. I love classical music too. So yeah, the list is really long.
I love it. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about banding together? I got really excited when you shared that you are doing the social skills like teens and young adults group. We have a lot of teens and adults reaching out to us right now. So tell us about how you got that started, your partnership with Julie, and how that's evolved over the years.
Sure. Well, Julie and I had a very unlikely friendship. So we started off saying, hey, let's run some classes together. And at the time, we were like, let's do some Saturday morning classes at an art gallery in North Park, which this is when North Park wasn't as beautiful as it is now. It was a little rougher around the edges, but we had a space there. And so we started off just offering classes, and then it kind of evolved into this. We hit this point where we said, okay, we're either going to go for it and have our own business or we're not. And we decided, hey, what's the worst that could happen? It fails. Oh, well, and then you move on. So, but we're so grateful that it didn't fail. And in the course of developing our services and providing music therapy, we just saw a huge need in our community to provide things to the community at no cost. And so that was why we started banding together and had a heart for bringing music therapy to the community at low to no cost. And so the jam session program actually was born in 2012. And I think to date we've had over 250 jam sessions, which may explain why I'm so tired. So we used to have them in 4 different locations, obviously, when we were live, but now we've pivoted to virtual. And yeah, they seem to have really, our goal really to help teens and young adults have a social group where they can express themselves and they can practice some of those things that maybe they need to work on out in the community. And we have found for a lot of them, it has become their group. So they talk about this is the thing that they do, and so I think that's really cool to see that.
Yeah, that's really special.
Angela, I'll be remiss if I don't share this story because I think it's interesting on so many levels. I wouldn't even know where to start. But a lot of you on the call might know Kelly Green, and I met Kelly. We haven't had her on a lunch and learn. Maybe she'll come on or not. But Kelly, I met when our kids did Gymboree at 1 month old, and then she had another child, Zach, and I don't even know, Angela, how it happened, but Zach is just a really, he's good at everything. And yet, if you were to, I think find out, his heart belongs to you helping the kids with the jam sessions. And I didn't even know the level until you did the Jason Mraz event downtown at the Spreckles Theater. And we went, me and Todd and Lisa and her husband, Lisa Kaufman and her husband. And here we run into Kelly and her family, Kelly Green and Andy Green and their family. And they were so excited. Their son, Zach, was on stage. And it's just amazing to me. I mean, their son's like an Olympic diver and all this stuff. He is like a rock star in so many places in his life, but his heart honestly belongs to you. And I think their family was just like, that is like the most incredible thing they've ever experienced, with seeing their son so like lit up and just like his compassion and love and everything he gives to your students as this guy that's kind of good at everything. I don't know. I think it's so beautiful. And sometimes I love that about the Autism Tree family is here. I know Kelly's, I know Kelly so well. I feel like I know everything about her. And yet I had no idea, and neither did Lisa, that her son Zach was volunteering, not just volunteering, but really soul level, giving his best version of himself to you and banding together. And I don't know, it just lights me up as a person to see that. That's why I'm a fan of banding together. I'll organically run into these situations that render me speechless, and that is only one of many. So I love that for any of you guys that are on the call, if you have, kids, which I know some of you probably do, that are good musicians, like Kelly's son, this is like his favorite thing to volunteer and do is help Angela with her jam sessions.
And we're always looking for volunteers. And when I think about him in particular, I light up because, he, like you said, he's so busy and he's got all these things in his life. And yet he didn't just volunteer for like a few months. He volunteered for years. And like, I think it's amazing too, to just see the relationship that he had. One particular student I can see in my mind that he was always paired with, and the relationship that developed. And I think what I love to see is not only did he make a difference in that student's life, but I see the student made a difference in his life too. And I think that is really cool, because I think that's the synergy that you see in Autism Tree and you see in Bandy and you just see in our community, which is amazing.
It really is. I mean, I can't even find the words to say how much it touches me, because they don't really talk about it. It's just something they do and it means so much to them. They just keep it really close to them. And that event you did at Spreckles is going to go down as one of like the most out of the box, special things that I saw your kids do. And so, yeah, I hope you get more volunteers, maybe even from this call.
Yay. And the crazy thing about that is it happened literally 2 weeks before COVID all came down. So like I keep thinking back, like, oh my gosh, what a gift that we were all able to get together, because the world changed after that happened. So
Yeah. Jeff is saying something. Thanks a lot, Angela. You got to check out that show you were on. Oh, he's going to check you out.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll include all of the resources that Angela provided, her PowerPoint slide, and more info on Kibbles and the Music Therapy Center and banding together. So if anybody wants to check that out, I'll send that to everyone who RSVP'd, and we'll include it on our website. And people can always just reach out to me too, and I can share that. I'll be sure to share it with you, Angela, so you can share it with everyone at Musical Therapy Center. And
Yay.
So we're at about time. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat. I'm going to read a couple of them. Alex Ticone, thank you for our board member. Thanks, Alex, for joining.
Hi,
Alex. She says, thank you, Angela, for your talent and creativity and commitment to HPF. Also, thanks for sharing your why. Music is definitely the universal language. Keep up the good work. I love it.
And I forgot to mention one thing. The quote that Dana shared, I don't know if you realize this, Dana, that quote is actually on all of our t-shirts. The staff of the Music Therapy Center. So I was like, this is perfect. You knew
my God,
on some
I
level.
honestly didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I looked at a whole bunch of them and I was like, that's it. That's Angela.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that quote is on our shirts.
I kind of liked the hummingbird in it,
Yeah.
It's really cool, but I mean, I have so many memories of Angela coming over and bringing like 3 kids over to the house. So Angela would do like music group with Garrett and 3 friends, and they would work on sharing and all the things that are kind of in harmony. But if there were any workers or any guys on our street, they would just be like milling around our house trying to meet Angela and listen to her, because she draws in a crowd just naturally by her amazing voice. And it's not just your voice, it's your spirit. But we used to have a lot of men kind of gathering around our neighborhood looking for Angela when she was working with, with our family.
It's so funny.
But I love your
Good
husband.
memories.
It took a while, but you got the best guy on the planet.
I'd love to take a group shot of everyone before we go. This is so much fun. Angela, thank you so much. So I'll do a little, go ahead, and I want to see all of you guys in gallery. If you want to turn on your camera, you can. It is optional, though we love to see all of your smiling faces. You can just look at the camera. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on one sec. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Awesome. Yay. Thank you so much, Angela. We just loved learning from you today. Thanks for taking the time.
It was
And
awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for making time. And Angela, what a gift. I'm counting this as a big blessing today. Thank you.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
have a
Thank
happy
you.
Have a great rest of your day.
you too.
Yeah.
Bye.